Welcome, everybody, to yet another episode of Disruption Talks. And before I even introduce the guest today, I want to introduce the topic. The key topic is when money meets the morals. And I'm pretty sure most of our audience, given the technical inclinations of our LinkedIn page audience and the people that follow NetGuru, are familiar with the TV series Silicon Valley. Just recently, I've been rewatching it, especially this season where you have Gavin Belson speaking about tethics or tech ethics. And we know it's a very difficult and oftentimes not relevant thing when we're discussing money, meeting morals, and making some sense of it. But joining us today, we have our special guest, the head of growth at Insha, Mehmet. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Please tell me if I'm
Yeah,
wrong. Okay,
yes,
so
that's correct.
I had that correct. And what divides the typical fintech startup and its focus is that you have principles. Not to say that fintech startups don't have principles, but for you, it seems to be the key driver, right?
Yes, that's correct. Our principles are very well defined, and it's presented in our website and all of the the social media channels with a clear way, and that's the thing.
Okay, and if I may, if you could give us like an elevator pitch of what Insha is, what Insha does, and then we can discuss the principles as well.
Yeah, we can say that I can admit that there are a lot of startups who based on the principles, ethics, and some values or morals. That is correct, but our idea is to combine all of the financial products in the one place and offer our customers. And there's no such a product on the ethical and sustainable business in our area. So our idea is to put everything into our platform and offer our customers with with principles and with an ethic way.
So essentially, if I'm becoming a user, I'm becoming a user of a one-stop shop, and I never have to worry about whether the platform or the money that goes into the platform of mine has been
that's
touching
correct.
anything unethical. Okay.
That's correct.
So if you could introduce yourself as well, because the company is one thing, and of course you're one of the founding members, but before that, there was some history. So tell me, what was up with you before Insha and how that led you to Insha, if there's a connection between your past and your present?
Yeah, of course, our past actually determines our futures always. And in my story also, I worked in my career. I started my career at a bank in Turkey. And at that bank, I worked as a trainee and worked with really awesome colleagues. And we, researched the fintech scene. And at that time, new fintechs like the big fintechs right now is, for example, Robinhood or N26, Arise and Neve. And then we really deep and dive into their business models, how they behave in the markets and how customers react to this new fintech wave, and then we report these new fintech wave to our executives, and that's the thing that I have completed in my first years of my career at that bank, and it was really fascinating, and we learned a lot about this new fintech way with my colleagues at that time. And then I transferred to one of the biggest telecommunication company in Turkey, and they have many subsidiaries in Turkey and other countries, and I mostly manage their fintech subsidiaries and fintech projects. We successfully integrated many other third-party fintechs into Turkcell's fintech subsidiaries and offer our customers. And also I mostly managed to some expansion projects of Turkcell, and it was also a great experience for me to deep and dive into actually we called techfin into telecommunication sector, because they're not a financial technology company. Actually, they not define themselves as a financial technology company because their focus is the tech. So they call themselves a techfin. So that's techfin advantage. The techfin adventure was really awesome, and so I really focused on the tech side of the fintech. So and then my colleagues at that bank tried to open a new initiative into Germany, and it's insha. Then I just joined the team, and right now, last 3 years, we tried really hard to manage all of its processes and everything from scratch in Germany. That's the current situation.
So thanks for catching me up and the audience as well. I liked what you mentioned about the flipping of the fintech into techfin, because it often is the thing that people forget, that there's a difference between a tech company and a tech enabled company. Just like Domino's Pizza, for example, tell us that they're a tech company that just happens to sell pizza. So it's always a matter of this approach. So diving further, growth, very important topic for ourselves at NetGuru, because this was the department that was able to actually bring NetGuru to the world and the delivery quality that we have. I'm curious about how it looks on your side, because growth teams nowadays, someone might mistake them with pure marketing. But this isn't pure marketing. This is marketing combined with sales to product, with marketing, with the sales itself. Am I correct to assume that that's how it looks at insha? Is it different? What's it like?
Yeah, right now I'm managing our marketing, sales, and product functions, because we believe that all of these three support your growth. And also our customer success team is I'm managing also customer success team, because it's also affect your growth and customer satisfaction, and it's also boosted your growth. And at insha right now, yes, I can say that marketing, all of marketing activities, all sales activities, all products, and the customer success initiatives belong to growth team.
Okay, and that seems like a lot of things to handle. What does your usual day look like? Is there a usual day for the head of growth?
No, every day is different, of course, because our main idea is to how we acquire new customers, or how we retain our customers, or how we monetize our customers, or how we increase engagement, how we increase satisfaction. All of these different things actually affect, of course, my day, and it's really different to other days. So not a usual day for a growth member.
Okay, so if I may throw this question, a very broad question, but let's narrow it down together. How do you define growth? Of course, some metrics, but maybe you have just like an overarching vision definition for what it means that you feel that the company is growing, aside just from seeing charts and numbers going.
Yeah, of course, growth can be means many things. And when you say growth, people can understand many different things. Customer growth, revenue growth, these are the many different metrics, but our growth perspective is the sustainable growth. I mean, the sustainable customer growth and sustainable revenue growth, and the also retention is very important on our growth metrics. So yeah, our growth perspective is not only acquisition or only retention. We focus most of the of these acquisition, retention, and monetization metrics, and try to manage our growth activities. For example, we use active customer growth in our metrics. Active customer is important for us, because before that we follow to customer growth, but customer growth is really irrelevant for us to follow, because every inactive customers is a burden for us, not also for us, for our competitors also. And we just dropped this KPI in our perspective, and right now we put active customer growth, because each active customer growth boosted our real growth. And also revenue growth is very important at the end. Yes, we are providing sustainable and principal services, but at the end we have to retain our business, and revenues are very important, and we are always searching new ways to increase our revenues. So revenue growth is another important metric for us. And also Total volume is very important because we generate generally money out of the transactions right now, and total volume, transaction volume is a really important metric for us.
So I understand that change, and across that journey of understanding and implementing that change, did you have any metrics or KPIs that turned out to be simply irrelevant? Some things that you assumed, okay, that's going to be maybe not a North Star, but something that will guide the way a little bit. And then you found out that actually it could be an anti-metric for growth.
Yeah, customer growth. Because we really spend a lot of money for acquisition at the beginning, and we figured it out. Each inactive customers is a burden for us. So we changed this, and we focused on the active customers, and we completely get rid of the customer growth KPI. I believe that this is not a really good idea for fintechs like Insha to put in their KPIs, because
Fair
every
point.
company right now to focus on the acquisition, and they do not focus on to active customers, and we believe that it's really, really important to sustain your business.
Do you have a growth story, like a success case that you feel comfortable sharing? Of course, without naming any specific clients, but something that you've seen work.
Yeah, of course. For example, we found Insha in 2019, and we growth our customer numbers 0 to 50K in in a 2.5 years, and I believe it's a success because our marketing budget was limited, but in this limit we really put a lot of effort into the table and acquired many new customers, and most of these customers are active customers right now. So it's a great thing for us. And also recently, for example, we renew our pricing model to sustain our business. So after this change, our revenue, our monthly recurring revenue just increased, more than 6, and that's what was of course great success for us. And right now it's also ongoing process. It's our customers are quite happy to stay with us, and they are still using our app, and we realize that pricing is also important element of fintechs like us. And if you provide only free services to your customers, it means you will not be able to sustain your business. So our focus right now is to retain and monetize our customers.
It's always the name of the game, right? Acquisition, retention, activation.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to ask you, what do you see as major challenges with scaling the company? But I would like to connect that to a question from the audience that we have. So
Okay.
Michał, our own Michał from NetGuru, asks, as far as I understand, the service is currently available exclusively in Germany. Are you planning to expand your reach? If so, what markets are you going to enter? Of course, as much as you can say, but I would like to connect that with the question about the major challenges with scaling the company, if there are any. Maybe it's all full of roses?
No, of course, we believe compliance is the key element of fintech's success. And we in 2021 we really invest a lot into our compliance tech, and we hire new people into our compliance team, and also invest a lot into tech structure. And we believe that compliance is really, really important for fintechs while developing new products, while entering in a new market. So right now I'm just coming to the answer of the question.
Sure.
And in also 2021, we focused on expansion. And right now, our stack is ready, and we will be in new 3 countries, Belgium, Netherlands, and Austria, and offer our services in these new countries. But for this, of course, first of all, we needed to invest to our compliance stack, and right now it's completed, and we are fully ready to entering these markets, and everything is almost ready, and we will be in these three markets very soon.
You said Belgium, Netherlands, and Austria. I got that right?
Yes, correct.
Congrats on the expansion. I'm
Thank you.
sort of hoping that this is the first time that the news is being revealed about this, so we can have a little bit of an exclusive, if I might say so. Michał, I hope that answered your question, but looking forward to a follow-up here if something's of more interest to you. Now, last thing concerning your position and yourself, head of growth, and what about the culture? How do you make sure that with the company's growth, it does not erode the culture? I don't want to use the word destroy, because destruction implies that there's like intention, right? Whilst erosion is something that naturally happens over time. So how do you protect it one against the other?
Yeah, this is very important and a very good point. So I believe, actually, we believe that the people change the companies, or people affect companies a lot, and we believe every new person joined to insha actually affects our business. So we are really passionate to work with really hardworking and passionate people in our team. So hiring process is very, very important, and we believe that if you hire right people, so you can manage growth and also the culture very well. Because if you hire the wrong person into your team, and even one person distracts your whole business, and we believe that this is very important, and I can say hiring is the key element on this journey.
Fair point. I am inclined to completely agree. This actually brings my memory back to, I think it was a tweet or a LinkedIn post about how companies aren't like families. They are sports teams. And it's not to say that in a sports team there is no place for love, but it's the fact that you're performing, but that you're also a part of the team, and your performance further impacts everybody else, and you just need to bring it to the pitch day in, day out. So let's focus on insha now. The elevator pitch is something that you shared already, but if we could broaden that, what we begun with, how it came to be, I think we slightly touched upon that, but if you have some stories of the birth that we haven't heard yet, that would be lovely to hear. But more about those principles is what I would love to hear personally. If we could list them, because I think there's 13. And if we could figure out the perfect user, or what actually this address, what does it fix? How bad is a world without insha for a user?
Okay, good point. So we have, as you said, 13 principles, and I can count these. Being an ethical is very, very important for us. All of our business model based on the ethical principles. And also transparency is really important, and we are communicating with our customers in a transparent way, and we guarantee full transparency to our customers and our other partners. And also participation. We believe participation, and we generally try to open a new initiatives based on a participation models. And also, of course, we believe real and circular economy. All of the right now, for example, 2008 crisis, affect the world in a bad way, and we believe and real and circular economy change this structure, and it will be much more the sustainable. It will lead to create a much more sustainable businesses in the future, and we support real and circular economy companies in Turkey and in Germany as well. And also, the other principle is interest-free. Of course, this is one of the key elements of our model. We promise our customers to, staying away from the interest model, and we never, we keep ourselves, away from this interest model. And also, environment is very important for us, and we are offering all of our services in a digital way, and we believe our environment is important. And social responsibility is very, very important for us, and we are collaborating very, in most of the NGOs in Germany, and we will also work with the other NGOs in the new countries, and we have a special product in just for this. We call it insha, and we are working with NGOs, and our customers are directly, send money to these charities. By the way, it's the first charity product in the German market, actually in the European market. Insha is the first charity product. Just after we, offer this product, some of the other competitors also provide these products. And also knowledge transfer, we really believe this. We have a community here, and we support universities. We are collaborating in universities. We have a special agreement with, for example, Berlin, some universities in Berlin, and supporting their students and organizing events on the tech and the financial area, and try to share our knowledge with these students and the young people. And we really believe knowledge sharing is very important. And of course, sustainable business model is the other principles of insha. We believe your business have to follow the sustainable way, and if it requires, you need to change your structure, your pricing, and you adjust your whole business according to sustainability. And also innovation, of course, very important for us, and we constantly innovate ourselves and try to challenge ourselves even in the markets. And also partnerships, we believe third-party integrations, and we always seeking for third parties we can add to our app or our marketplaces. And partnerships, strong partnerships is another principles. And also awareness, of course. We are trying to educate our customers in a financial way. We believe that financial literacy is very, very important, and most of the people do not know how to invest. Even in Germany, Germany is a very advanced country, but most of the people are still trying to save their money without investing. And right now, as you maybe realize, investments, startups or investment models are rising. And we believe that, such financial literacy, saving, investments or credits, how to budgeting, these tools and these education is very important. And we are trying to also educate our own customers and our own community. So this is the general principles of insha. So these principles, not only for our customers, also for our partners, for our employees, for everyone. This is our business model.
Okay. Well, with those principles in action, you sound like the perfect candidate for a BCorp certification. So perhaps that's something to look into, because it does seem very, very parallel. I agree with what you mentioned about the financial literacy, if we may call it that. I think the wave is just starting. I think we have things like human curiosity, coming from cryptocurrencies, from things like the meme stocks of GameStop, AMC, Reddit, Wall Street Bets, and everything else. And Robinhood's platforms that make it almost too easy for you to invest. These are things to, I hope, thank for. And that won't bring us in a bad place when it comes to tech enabling things for us. Yes. Fingers crossed for the right outcomes. Out of those principles, I'm curious, because most of them are aligned with each other. I think almost all are. I think you could easily say that each is aligned with another. Absolutely. But you have 13. That's a high degree of complexity. Has this ever been a situation for you when you had a sort of like a Rubik's Cube, when, like, imagine a Rubik's Cube with 13 sides. You figured out one side and then you flipped it and you saw that this, for example, impacts another principle? Or are they so sort of well consolidated that, you know, they always act in each other's best interest. Like you act on one
Yes.
principle and there's synergy for all the rest.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's also aligned, you know, all principles is, you know, aligned to another one. And each principles, you know, support the other one. And uh, so, yeah, 13 principles. This is, you know, these principles are the way how we define ourselves. So that's why we are trying to, you know, deliberately writing about the details and how we do it, and each principles how in action, and we provide all of these details to, you know, provide full transparency to our partners, to our customers.
Okay, so now let me ask you the, I don't want to say most boring, but the most overused and abused question. How did you go through the pandemic? How did it impact you? How are you doing right now? And then, of course, the follow-up question is going to be what's in the stars for Insha in 2022. So
Okay.
just those 3 years, past, present, and future.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you know, the beginning of pandemic and the 2020s, we focused on really acquisition, and all we just, you know, initiated the marketing channels and the marketing initiatives, and our focus was the acquisition at 2020. And also, pandemic affected our business very well because people in Germany, you know, looking for digital solutions at that time because of the pandemic. So also we use pandemic as a leverage, and we really, you know, got an advantage in 2020 and acquire many customers. And with 2021, we focused on expansion and monetization. So we focused on these two things and slowed down our marketing and sales activities. And we spend money to our expansion, compliance, and also to how to, you know, activate and retain our customers. So in 2021, we focus most of these things, and yeah, we monetize right now our customers, and it's going very well. And also, we will expand into new countries as we talked before, and we completed our compliance stack, and right now insha is ready to jump into, you know, next adventures, and we are really thrilled to join the new wave of fintech right now. And
Okay.
for 2022, of course, we will focus on product development. New products are coming, and also we will focus to deepen into these new countries that we will enter, and localize our businesses and the organization. And for example, from the product side, I just want to, you know, give you some details about.
Of course, if you have any new
upcoming
features or business lines, please.
Yeah, so, you know, we believe that B2B banking is, for example, so important for us because it is much more easy to monetize it, and so we will focus on to B2B site. Right now, we are offering only B2C services, but we will provide also B2B solutions into 2022. This is the one big thing. And also another big thing is this, we will right now, we are working on the investment products. So we will offer new investment products to our customers. And for example, for some investment products, we are developing in-house. But for some of the investment products, we will integrate, you know, third parties products into insha and offer third party products with the native integrations. So, and also we really love open banking and its capabilities. And right now we are working with one of the biggest open banking providers in Europe, and we will integrate multi-banking and payment initiation solutions into insha end of this year and offering and boosted these services in 2022 because we believe, multi-banking and payment initiation is very, very important for fintechs like us because for multi-banking, your customers won't need to other apps, other the accounts, and they can easily see all of their accounts and all of their banks into one place. And with payment initiation, you also break another line, and they just directly do many things with these two integration. Yes, we will focus on the open banking sides, B2B business and investment products. And also, additionally, 2022, we will focus on to, insurance and the credit solutions with third-party solutions, of course. We will not provide credit and the insurance services because we are expert in Turkey and we have some capabilities, but in Germany, we do not have, licenses and we do not complete our compliance stack on these. And so we will provide the third-party fintech solutions for insurance and the credit solutions. And we will integrate their APIs into our system and offer to these new products line to our customers.
And before we jump into the industry aspect of it all, because we spoke about you as a person, insha as a company, and then the industry as a whole, I want to ask you this, and this might be a touchy subject. Hopefully it isn't. Pivots are either something that people don't want to talk about or they're very proud to talk about. So I hope you're in the second group, and tell me about the at least two pivots, if I understand correctly, that insha had, starting as a bank for Muslims and then pivot and pivot. Am I right? Could you walk me through it?
Yeah, we only pivoted one time. And yes, we started to offering services to Muslim community in Germany. And we figured out Muslims in Germany, because we do not have a knowledge in the other countries, but we can predict it. Most of the European countries are the same. So people are the Europe and really don't know the difference between the Islamic banking and the traditional banking. So they only know the credit side. And if you do not provide the credit products, so they just label you, okay, you are the same with the other ones. So what's the difference? So we figured out the difference is very simple and not also cover Muslims, but also covers the other people who are seeking for the ethical solutions. Our basic idea is we will not use your money into unethical and un-Islamic industries. So our main focus and the main product is based on these, and we change our business model a little bit and pivot it into sustainable and ethical account model. And right now, I cannot say that we completely, drop off to a Muslim community because we are still offering the similar solutions and but also covers the others. So in the financial area, people just searching for the financial products that fits into their, maybe pockets or their values, their morals. They're just seeking to financial products. So our idea is to provide our financial products to wider target groups in Europe, and that's why we include our target group to ethical and sustainable seekers. So right now, that's why we pivoted from Muslim banking to ethical banking area.
Okay, sounds like a expansion, really, not necessarily a pivot. It's not that much of a change. You're just if that's my personal opinion, of course, but it does sound like you're simply broadening the common denominator here that was there to begin with. So when it comes to the industry, there's one question, like what's good, what's bad, really, because the market trends are, as we see, beginning from the top of investors being required and expected to have ESG goals, right? And having this implemented in how they want to spend their money, what companies they want to invest in, what they don't want to invest in. So the trends of sustainability, transparency, and most of the values, the 13 principles that you have presented, are happening. Some people are actually living that. Some people are just using this as a virtue signal. But what trends are in favor of insha, and what are the most challenging ones? And the question that I could keep into this is, what is your moat? How do you protect insha from this wave of everybody trying to have principles, be good in this, great in that, and tell the world about it?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we realize that people just want to financial products that ease their life, and our idea is to put all of the financial needs of people into one place and offering with a sustainable and ethical way. And there's no product right now in the market offers all-in-one product with a ethical and sustainable way, and we will focus on this area. So, for example, we will work with companies who has similar morals and principles like us, and we will not put every company into our marketplace, and we will not integrate every company into insha, and we will work with the companies we share the same values, and this is one of the key things that we will consider. And I think this is the one of the key differentiators of insha. And yeah, we will provide all-in-one ethical solutions, financial solutions to our customers. That's the key element.
Okay, so I understand that this is helpful in some way, because the more amplified it becomes a trend everywhere, the better recognizable your activities are. And what would you say is the most challenging? Because personally, I couldn't imagine an answer right now. Everything's towards fintech, everything's towards narrowing it down to a more personalized experience and a more niche customer segmentation. Um, what is against you, really, with everybody having focus on sustainability, this making sense from the user's perspective, from the business perspective, from the investor's perspective? Once again, is it all roses?
Of course, there are challenges. For example, as you specified, the competition and to differentiate yourself from the others is the one thing, because right now there's a fintech wave in the world, and as you specified, most of the fintechs are trying to do the same thing. And yeah, that's why we are trying to positioning ourselves in the different way. For example, in Germany or in Europe, there is no product that I specified before, all-in-one ethical financial solutions. There's no product like this. That's why we choose to position ourselves in this area, and we focus and we invest in this. And of course, every company can do that and transform their business into this area easily, maybe. But I believe the competition is important, but the most important thing is to try to find the right partners for our business. As I specified, we are working with third-party fintechs and offering their services through our platform, and we want to be a platform of these fintechs. And so it's really not easy to find companies share the similar values like insha. So this is one of the key challenge. For example, for the credit side, maybe it's really not easy to find the companies to share our principles, or this for the also insurance side. So this is one of the key challenge, I believe, for us.
Well, call me an exaggerated optimist, but it doesn't sound like a challenge. If you have competition, that just is a signal from the market that you're doing something right. And, competition, I wouldn't call it a trend. It's a thing that's been always around. And like I said, if there's no other solution like that, but there's people trying to copy you, I'd say it's a green light, essentially, from the economic
Yeah.
standpoint, looking at this. Um, I will transition into some Q&A before we ask two non-technical, completely non-startup questions.
Okay.
So Mihao asked one already, and he's following up with this. Of course, he's congratulating you on the expansion. He's asking, what are the criteria for choosing those markets? The geographical proximity is one of them, but what are the others? I'm going to go out on a limb and guess the more accommodating the compliance framework is, the easier it is for you to enter such a market. But I'm pretty sure that's not just the driver, how easy it is to be compliant, right?
Yeah. So yeah, criteria for choosing new markets actually for us, for example, for Austria, the Austrian market is the really almost the same as Germany. So we have knowledge and experience in the German market, and we think that expand into Austria is not a big thing because the similar culture, the same language. So we share many things with Austria. So that's why we choose Austria. And for example, for Netherlands is one of the most advanced uh, digital, digitally advanced country in the Europe, at least most advanced than the Germany. So in Netherlands, we believe that it is much more easy to offer our services to our target groups, and also for Belgium, we will be in Belgium just because also there are lots of people in our target group in Belgium, and also our compliance stack is to belong there.
Mihao, thanks for the follow-up question. So I think one last question about Insha itself, and then we have a couple people interested from our growth team about your growth practices. So first, let's satisfy the curiosity of Rafa. He's asking, Insha puts a lot of focus on providing a sustainable and safe financial service. How do you educate your customers to help them become more aware and secure, thus further contributing to a healthy and a sustainable economy? Because it does make sense that some people might not come from a place of awareness, not of I am searching for a solution like Insha, but rather stumbling onto something, then discovering that, and what sort of caught their interest and the attention is something you want to further build on, right?
Yeah, for the the more aware and the secure of the sustainability and the financial literacy, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we as I said, financial literacy is really really important. And for example, we have a community in the Berlin, and we organize online and offline meetings with our customers or the prospective customers, and we invite a lot of people into these meetings, and we are also having a guest into these meetings, and those guests try to educate our community in sustainability, for example, how sustainability changed the digital environment, and also, for example, how we invest, how we should save. And for these topics, we invite experts, and for our customers and prospective customers. And this is the one of the key things that we are doing, and also we are periodically share information with our customers into sustainability and financial literacy, how can save money with Insha. And for example, we have a tool in Insha we call it InSave, and people can put money to different accounts and can manage their money better, and also can easily automatically save money to these accounts. For example, when they spend money with their Insha cards, they can choose to automatic saving, and automatically, for example, 1% of those savings goes to investment account, and we are trying to push them to save and invest. And right now, we do not have investment solutions, but we will put some investment solutions into markets, and we will combine saving, investment, and the other solutions. So yeah, we are trying to educate our customers, for sustainability and the financial literacy in this space.
Well, uh, once again, a personal opinion here, and sorry for names dropping. I don't think it's a competitor. Same space, Revolut. Perhaps some people have heard about the
Yeah.
company. I just noticed recently that there was a automatically created vault for me, which sort of sent savings to another place of mine, just as easily accessible, but I just didn't notice it. And personally, as a user experience, I really enjoyed this because my money was still in the place. I didn't have any trouble accessing it, but someone sort of thought for me that in case I didn't know about this place and I ever was going through my, God forbid, Revolut account and everything's empty, but then I find, hey, there's been some money put aside just
Yes.
in case I didn't even know about it, so I couldn't reach for it. So definitely, of course, it's a thin line between moving somebody's money and sort of acting in someone's best interest, but completely agreed with you there. And what you mentioned about the education part, this seems to ring true for every fintech company that's somehow focused on bettering the world, because we spoke with Tomorrow, the German fintech also focused on sustainability. We spoke with First Boulevard, that's an American fintech, transparent banking built for Black America. And the education part is always something that's not like, yeah, we have some resources, you can go in the tab in the app and download this. It's actually a proper focus on making sure that this is like an active thing, not a passive resource that's somewhere in the app and you can touch it if you want. So
Yes.
I see that trend, and good on that. So there are two questions from our growth members. Kasha asks, what sources do you use to stay up to date with the latest trends in marketing? Any recommendations? What's your digest, daily or weekly?
For marketing perspective,
I mean,
right?
probably anything that helps you be a better head of growth, right? So
Yeah,
those sources.
I generally choose to read a book, and also choose to read summaries of the books. And I am using an app called Blinkist, also a German company, and it's offering really good solutions for book summaries. And for a general perspective, marketing perspective, and from some of the new trends perspective, I am digesting myself with these book summaries. And also, I'm following into many growth pages. And for example, growth hacking, not .com, and similar websites. And yeah, but most of it consists of the books.
Okay. So, Kashu, feel free to reach out and ask for the titles, either the most recent ones or anything in the future. Tomasz asks, curious a little bit about which software as a service tools do you use for the marketing activities? So what's your
Yeah,
secret sauce?
yeah,
What's
yeah. Yeah, for example, we used in-house marketing systems, some marketing automation system in insha, and also we are using email system, and also we are using partner management service. And because in Germany, for example, we really got great traction from the partner affiliate marketing, and we use affiliate marketing solutions. And it's very useful. It was very useful at that time. This is some tools. Yeah.
okay. Tomasz, I hope that works for you as an answer. And now I don't see any more questions from the audience, so I'll jump back to the last two that we have for you as an Ed Guru. And these aren't tech questions or industry questions. These are more of a straying from the main topic of what we discussed, more of a leadership question and more of an ethics question. So the first question, what is your decision-making framework? Any tips you could share with other heads of growth? Anything that really works as like a rule of thumb that helps you decide or go through any things without picking them apart into every tiny piece, but just evaluating something as a framework should.
Yeah, of course, it has to be. I believe speed and courage. So the worst decision is to being late, and you have to, decide in a rapid way and to sustain into market. I believe speed is very important, and you shouldn't think a lot on to topic. But of course, I'm not referring to decide without any data. So I believe, I'm not talking about the insane courage here. I'm talking
Sure.
about to courage with feeding with the data. So if you have enough data in your hands, and it's time to decide, and no need to wait anymore. And also, of course, we are generally try to decrease the options here. And if you have lots of options, and it means that you cannot decide. So we are trying to decrease the options maximum 2 or 3, and then try to do positive and the negative ways of these two decision, and then decide.
Yeah, I can completely see why that works. And I know that you don't mean just courage in terms of let's be brave for the sake of being brave, but rather let's avoid analysis paralysis. Let's not over engineer things when we have the data.
Yeah.
It's better to take the next step and then just proceed. I think it's the principle of Occam's razors. And of course, this is a simplification, just like the framework has to be that the simplest solution most likely is the solution you're looking
Yeah.
for, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Simple,
yeah.
generally simple solutions are the best one. Yeah.
So the last question. Are you ready? I'm handing you a magic wand remotely, and I am giving you the opportunity to cast a spell. Your abracadabra will allow every 12-year-old in the world to be gifted the education on what? We've heard emotional intelligence, we've heard design thinking, financial prudence. One guest said, let's not teach them anything, let's let them be kids. And there's no right or wrong answer. There's just the answer that is yours. So whatever you give me, I want to hear why you think that.
Okay. I can say communication. I believe human being is really advanced on technology and many things, but on communication, we are still in an infant period. And for example, when I say something, the opposite can understand very different thing. And I believe that people really, most of the people do not know how to communicate and how to, express their feelings and express their ideas. So I believe if people, learn how to communicate with a better way, I believe our world will be a better place. So communication skill is very important, and I believe communication should be the answer of this question from my perspective.
Just as Kasha mentions in the comments, well said. And I couldn't agree more. We are so advanced, but the technological and cultural revolution or evolution, our brains are always sort of faced with the challenge to manage the awareness of things that are happening, the things that we want to happen, and how do we not even speak to others, just to ourselves. That dialogue is the most important. So thank you so much for being such a grateful and gracious guest speaker today. It was a true blast. Thank you, everybody in the audience, for your curiosity and your questions. I'm also wanted to say that we gave a link to the principles of insha in the comments, so feel free to check them out, but also feel free to reach out to our guest speaker, read up more about the company. And if you're interested in the company and working there, I think it's a good start to work your way through LinkedIn. So once again, thank you so much for today.
Thank you very much. It was my pleasure.
Hopefully see you soon in a similar setup. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. See you.
See you. Bye-bye.